only thing is that cold storage being a energy intensive sector, integration with cheap uh, solar power will be extremely crucial to make it a success at scale. So that is one element. And the third aspect would also be of course, the digital revolution we mentioned, the energy transition. The third aspect would be the of agriculture, which Kerala will need very badly, because as we know, about 30 to 40% of crop productivity is affected by the changing climatic regime. We have been victims of it in 2018-19, recurrent floods, also the need to protect the ambient, the produce or the import from the elements of weather which tend to, even a normal day, you tend to lose 30% of your post-harvest into poor storage, which could increase in terms of further uncertainty. So for all these three reasons, considering the cold chain network of Kerala and trying to improve it is extremely important. So I congratulate you for this very important initiative. And what I want to share with you is the context of the forthcoming World Bank project, which we have completed the formalities of and expected to be inked in the matter of another month. So there are three elements which could interest investors, managers in cold chain infrastructure. I will just outline that, and I think we can then hand over to Patwananji to deal with the specifics so that we all profit from discussions. The first element which I would bring to your attention is this idea of forming productive alliances, what we call PAs in the project. A productive alliance in the project will be a group of smallholder producers, like, for example, cardamom, or for that matter, another plantation crop, let's say anything which needs storage or processing, buyer elements, and agri-business players, and one public sector agency which invests with them. So these productive alliances will be formed crop specifically or geographically specifically, and they are given, assistance will be given for their productive investments, including cold chain networks and technology investments. In the project, about 150 productive alliances are planned in the next 5 years. And that's a pretty huge number for the state of Kerala, where joint business proposals of farmer producer organizations and agri-business players, meaning marketeers, and this can also be in Kerala sunrise sectors like Ayush, where a medicinal or a plant having commercial activity or extract is to be combined with an agri-business player and a farmer producer organization using a PSU which facilitates to sort of hit the market. And these 150 productive alliances stand to get an assistance of 2 crores per productive alliance, and 400 crores will be spent in this implementation starting in 24-25. So it's a huge organization opportunity for the sector. There will be huge improvement for the credit opportunities for the FPOs, because a partial credit guarantee program is to be installed with all the scheduled commercial banks in Kerala, whereby part of the credit details to be concluded will be supplied by the project. And the outlay there is roughly about another 350-400 crores. So credit should be cheaper by an average of 1% or so, which will encourage more and more people to sort of avail it. Then there will be cluster development programs in competitive crops. Details of these we will discuss as we go along. These are productivity and logistic clusters to be developed and which trigger productivity. The third aspect is very important, largely led by the industries and commerce departments. There will be 5 new agri parks to be developed in the state. Agri parks are nothing but processing clusters which will have common facility areas in 5 locations, for which a feasibility study will commence in 24-25 and implementation in 25-26 onwards. Standard design factory or land on lease models, which infra practices as of now, will be the core idea. And at the moment, about 150 crores is set aside for establishing the pre-feasibility and the preliminary facilities for these parks. So what I have outlined applies to directly and squarely to development of storage as well as uh, cold storage. So this is our current interest, renewed interest in the cold storage chain. Recently, when the Chief Minister was reviewing the agri value chain of Kerala, he was very keen that Kerala's deficiency in A, storage, B, cold storage, and 3, micro irrigation have to be addressed. These models have to be perfected. I'll just close with an example of a huge diseconomy operating in Kerala. People read extensively about the limited rice production in Kerala, the procurement troubles which undergo various value judgments that whether it is right to reward the producer with a credit rather than paying him upfront against a PRS receipt, etc. Recently, we put an expert team to review the entire rice procurement practice we do. And I was pleasantly surprised when the total cost borne by the state on 1 kilo of rice procured from within the state worked out to rupees 80.4. Rupees 80.4. That's what we end up doing. It's a very interesting story.
Chhattisgarh is highest 28 rupees.
Here also it is. See the whole. I'm computing every cost that goes into it. All right, the milling compensation, the transport subsidy, what the state ends up paying, defraying the cost. This doesn't go to the farmer. Farmer gets 28 plus the state incentive bonus, SIB. That is it. Whatever he gets, it is a very good remunerative price for the. But if you add every cost element, track it from input subsidies to sale of that 1 kilo of rice in the PDS system, and we realized as it has evolved, it is a hugely complex system which got built in pieces. So therefore, I'll just spend a minute or two to tell you how crucial that element of storage and upkeep is. What happens in the rice procurement cycle, as you know, Kerala is a minority producer. Kerala produces rice good enough to stand 45 days of its consumption. Right, so that's like 8 lakh metric tons in slightly less than 2 lakh hectares of planting. And you compute a value of production of around 2 tons per unit of land. That's what works out. So that's what 2 into 4 per acre gives you something like 8 lakh hectares. And about, I think about 2.3 lakh farmers register every year in the system as rice producers, and that rice is procured by the millers at a cost of, your state incentive bonus plus. The rationale for the state to actually procure that rice is that it can be sold into the open market system, that is into your PDS shops, which of course constitutes a very much minority of it. So the problem there is, had Kerala developed, let us say, roughly 1 lakh metric tons of storage in both the rice mills, that is Palakkad and Alleppey, the trouble with the millers setting, for instance, stakes with the whole process would be completely avoided. Because if milling can be, the trouble is that when it is harvested, the rainy season immediately follows, and left in the paddy field, of course, it gets wasted in a matter of 30 days. So the effective intervention involves establishment of something like 4 grain silos of 50,000 metric tons each, neither of this district. 80% of your issue will be sorted out because you get the window to sort of negotiate your milling price, and therefore, since the state does not, or rather the system does not succeed in doing that, you are leaving the milling and processing operation entirely to the miller. And therefore, there is every chance that since you cannot monitor that for all the technology you have, the chances are that there will be quantity arbitrage. Because if I am paying 32 or 30 rupees for procured rice, and similar or same product is available at, let us say, 10 rupees. Right? 10 rupees in theory, which it is in the public system. Any system is porous enough for an operator to switch the quantum, buy 10, fill it, and give the 10 plus value added to the public system. Take the 30 premium, enhance it and sell it at 50. So therefore the solution actually lies in the state actually establishing the storage, not necessarily cold storage, silo storage for your prepared rice, taking it out and processing it using your contracted service charge milling assistance, and instead of leaving the entire procurement operation there, and sort of taking it back through traceable means to, if you want to do it in the public system. Let me also tell you, because this loophole has to be, this loop has to be bridged. Let me also tell you what would be the alternate cost of the 80 rupee price which state actually sort of dabbles with. If you want, in theory, to procure it from the Central Food Corporation of India, can anybody guess the cost of that rice? Only thing is, if pudkalari kittadilla, your native, what is it called?
Boiled rice.
Parboiled.
Parboiled.
Parboiled you won't get, you will get rice from Andhra, white rice. Suppose you are willing to switch your taste, for instead of you will forgo parboiled, you will eat white rice. This 80 rupee rice actually costs rupees 4.5 in the PDA system. So, frankly, I have never heard about a more, what is it, stark diseconomy which operates. I'm actually spending, the fun is, I'm spending 75 rupees per kilo, right? But I get blamed at the end of the day for operating a poor system also. I pick up the tab for the entire blame for not doing it also. Whereas every player involved in this chain is laughing to the bank. May not to all the farmers, but there is an issue there. Everybody laughs to the bank, but at the end of the day, they say that that I'm also operating a inefficient system. I'm only saying that that's why I started by saying that every crisis is an opportunity. The second you don't have the money to 1,000-2,000 crores to pay for this 80 rupee exercise, you are likely to think of better ways to improve what benefits everybody equitably, fairly rewards the farmer, fairly rewards the storage agency, fairly rewards the miller, and gives wholesome rice if parboiled is preferred to the airline consumer. So thank you very much for inviting me. I wish the conference all success. I'll also, with your permission, listen to the initial input so that we benefit and get ideas of how to do this in a better way. Thank you very much.